Yeah, so obviously at first I'm just gonna go through. I mean, I don't really have much to talk about for this week. I'm just gonna go through Euro GBP and maybe GU or GJ. Um, Obviously Euro GBP was interesting because I was in some short positions around this area here, and then we basically had a inefficiency fill here that price reacted off up. Price reacted off late on Friday. Oh, you know what? Let me go into a different broker because I have markups on this one. Yeah, cool. So we had one here that we kind of had a reaction off, but nothing significant happened. Oh no, sorry, yeah, this one up here. Nothing significant happened. Then this week, late in the week, I think it was Thursday, we came here and we mitigated this inefficiency and we had a nice push to the upside. So let's go to the lower time frame. Yeah, so this was the initial reaction here, and then we literally had a push all the way up, breaking like this level of structure here, this level here, and this level here. Um, Now, what was actually interesting to me was this. Let me delete all of this nonsense. Delete this here. You see this high here? Look at the way it was purged. No cooperation, right? And literally look at the strength. Look at the momentum after that. Obviously breaking this level of structure here. So you could technically say we're in like a short-term uptrend here because we did break various of intraday structure going to that point. But technically right now we're in a downtrend. And to be honest, yeah, we've had like little misleading bull runs like this before. Pretty sure I pointed one out in one of the previous calls. Maybe I can try to find it. Yeah, this one here. So obviously we kind of had the same thing here. How we came up, we broke kind of like various levels of structure, but then at the end we actually came all the way back down and broke this level here. So I think we could kind of see the same thing happen here. How we had like a little bull run, breaking three levels of structure just like this one here did, and then we might just actually come down and take this low and carry on this like higher time frame downtrend. Because I mean, realistically, we still got inefficiencies down here that could be used as targets, but this was basically like corona lows, so I don't know how deep we'll go into this pocket, but um, we'll see. I think it'll obviously be an interesting week for this pair. Let me actually go and show you. Yeah, so obviously we had this bullish down move here, yeah, and price came back up, and we don't have a wick on the 15. Interesting. Yeah, we've got this inefficiency here that price came to fill, and here. So if you zoom in here, let's go to the 1 minute. Look, we had a clear BOS after our POI being hit, and you could have. I mean, I wouldn't really consider this a SC because there was too much. There's too much wick on that one, but technically this was the area that mitigated that POI. So you could have used that as an entry. Look, you had a clean BOS, and then even post entry, stronger break of structure there, and here as well. So it's just literally textbook stuff in it. And obviously this candle here ruins it, but technically the entry is still valid. I think somewhere in the seconds time frame there's obviously going to be a better setup. But let's actually go to current date. Obviously that's one of the entries I should have gotten. I was kind of annoyed about. But if we follow obviously price's narrative, right, then within here right now, obviously if we were to mitigate out of whatever we did here and we're not getting anything higher, right? Obviously here, there's no real POI, like there's no clear, this is on the 4 minute as well, it's all quite choppy, but the most prominent um, potential area to, where's the squares? Oh, here we go, is this 4 minute inefficiency. Now in classic Euro GBP style, I'll expect a liquidity purge of this high, obviously show no cooperation and then come like move to the downside. This is just something I kind of want to see. But yeah, I think it'll be likely. I mean, if we just consolidate sideways into Asian, then we could definitely see something like this happen. We'll see though. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this pair. I don't really have much else to talk about, unless anyone. I mean, we also got this area here as a potential target as well. So technically, if you manage to get a entry up here, oh come on, but I mean that's too much of a small. Let's just say 3 pips. Yeah, you could use this down here as a profit target. It's got like 1 to 20 potential. And that's if we even come here. You can obviously target external range liquidity down here, 1 to 30. But we'll see. I think obviously I'm just waiting for like the dust to settle post-election. Kind of see what Monday brings and potentially look for some positions in like midweek, which is like prime trading days in my opinion. Let's look at GU. Oh yeah, this. All right. You know what? Let's delete everything. Let's quickly run through this. Right. So we're obviously in. Let's go to the daily actually. All right. We're obviously in like a strong downtrend. This does look somewhat corrective, which is the only thing I'm kind of like keeping an eye out for on the higher time frame. Kind of got a inefficiency right here, and I think we probably got a smaller one right there, but on one of the lower time frames, I'll probably be better. But technically, we're still in an uptrend here. Like we're maintaining structure. We haven't exactly broke any of these lows. Only like minor no corporation, so like liquidity purge. And let's go down to the 4 hour, 1 hour. This is what I kind of want to show you guys. So obviously this was a major like swing point structure that we needed to break in order to continue this uptrend, right? But let me just make this precise. Oh, so annoying. There we go. If you look here, let's actually zoom in. We literally purged that by 0.3 of a pip. So that was obviously a liquidity purge as well, because we did actually break above the high. And we obviously got a nice bearish reaction after that. So I'm either going to look for one or two things going into next week. If we follow price's narrative, right? So from this obviously uptrend direction, we obviously had like multiple mitigations on these lows. Obviously this came, mitigated something in there. Again, same with something in here. That's obviously choppy price action, but if you go to the lower time frames, you'll be able to find something. And obviously, if you look here, if you go to the, let's go to the, you know what? Let's replay this. Let's go to the 2-unit. There you go. Inefficiency fill here. Oh, let me get rid of the magnet. Here, right? Look at that perfect tap. And I mean, technically, from this POI, if you managed to find a POI in there and this reacted off it, this would have been a perfect trade. Because after that, we technically were making structure to the upside. Yeah, this broke, but it came down to your entry, so that's where realistically you should have taken a trade. But this would have been nice. That was straight into profit. So technically, right? Let's just get out of replay. If we follow price's narrative, the next kind of area we should be looking to take a trade in is within here. So we obviously got a inefficiency here, and maybe on one of the time frames we can get a nice look in SC. Let's see if we can get one. Nah, let's go lower. 6, 7. Maybe the open. Maybe just like general region here. How many pips is this? Yeah. If we do make, I mean that's kind of a deep pullback, but simply because it follows this narrative, I'd wait for a reaction there. Obviously, micro BOS and like potentially look for a trade, but if we don't do that, I mean, I wouldn't like to take anything within here. It's just too high for my liking. And obviously, the basics, premium discount, I look for something within this range, and this is the only thing that relatively sticks out to me. So obviously, depending on how this opens, if we start to fall and if we start to break this level here, you can maybe look for shorts all the way down here. I mean, it's not much of a gap though. It's like what? Actually, yeah, it is. That's 200 pips. Yeah, if we break levels of structures on the way down and maybe purge this, then you could actually look for short positions, short term technically, because I mean, until we break these levels here, then I'd look for more long term positions. Do I really have anything else? I mean, let's look at gold. Oh yeah, this. I think I went through this with you, Pedro. Right. So obviously got a. I'm gonna do this one quick because, oh, damn it, I don't really have much to talk about on this one. There we go. Obviously, again. All right. That's the last time that's happening. Delete all of this. Okay. Now technically, we're in an uptrend here. If we fib up this most recent trading range from here to here, we should realistically see some sort of pullback within this region. And let's actually go one. Let's go one lower. Let's go to the 15. The only thing that's relatively under that region, I'd say, is this inefficiency here, which looks good because everything below here is pretty filled in. I don't really see any noteworthy price action within here that would indicate to me that we'd like to come mitigate something within this region. Obviously, this looks good. I think it's a fair enough pullback. Maybe trap some people that will buy off this inefficiency and actually just go lower to this one, because this clearly isn't in discount price. And what kind of backs this bias is did we mitigate out something here? No, that's just, did we break that? Yeah, we purged this high, so obviously that's no corporation. By the way, no corporation is basically the same as a liquidity purge. So if you take liquidity, you're gonna reverse against that side. Like if you hit, like when they hit the stop loss and they end up going in your direction anyways. Like, you know, when people complain about that, that's basically how they've been caught out on liquidity purge. So that's basically the same as no corporation. If you go down to the 15, look at this. This obviously came up, and this was the price point that actually mitigated that. Not mitigated, took out that liquidity. Right after that, strong BOS to the downside. So within here, I think we actually did have a sponsored candle. Let me actually find. I've got a nice one. Nah. Nope. There we go. I mean, that looks alright. 5 minute was the highest candle essentially, and strong reaction after that, except for this this kind of indecision candle. But the general whole picture, this kind of strength to the downside, we could see this here. Obviously, we got a bit too much wick there, so maybe if we pair that with was it a 15? Nah, 3. I mean, I guess this is alright. Look for this area here to potentially short off of. So kind of the same as Euro GBP. Look for liquidity purge of this high, spike up and then drop down. Because realistically, we are like kind of overbought. But I guess it's gold. It can theoretically continue going up for however long. That's why I don't really trade gold. It's a bit too unpredictable. I mean, I guess the technical analysis is all there, but not a fan of it. Let's look at GJ. I always have these charts. I forget what I was looking at. Oh yeah, I remember. I'm not gonna delete these ones just to quickly go through it, but I mean, I point this out every single time. We're obviously in a downtrend from like way back. I mean, yeah, we technically had a bit of an uptrend here, but technically, from like a super macro perspective, we've been consistently just dropping. And here we pretty much kind of got the same thing. Like we generally have like an impulse here, and this is quite corrective. Like it's mad sideways, and this was from Corona lows. So I'd personally like us to carry on that downtrend by breaking these lows here. Obviously, structure is king. It makes sense that in order to continue, if we where's my here? You obviously got the impulse, correction, then impulse, right? So this is our impulse, correction, simple stuff. Then I want another impulse. So realistically, break Corona lows. But we'll see if that happens. For now, more like intraday type stuff. I look for this low here to break and this low here to break. Let's go down to the 15 actually. Show you more recent price action. Actually, let's go to hourly. Okay, so we had. Let me flip this whole thing up. Let me show you something. So this is our whole swing here. Yeah? Now, this basically just about missed being in discount price. No, sorry, premium price. And it basically just about missed the 50% of this inefficiency here. But we kind of did generally come and fill a bit of it in. And we had a nice reaction to the downside, BOS. And this does look quite bearish here. However, I'd say that us coming up and purging all these equal highs here, and technically these equal highs here, go into more premium price and mitigate this inefficiency here, is still technically, I mean, we could realistically see that happen, like a short-term bullish pound, and then just melt off. But it all really depends on like these levels here. Let me just. We've got inefficiency fill here. I'd like to see how price reacts there. And technically, if we come up and break this, we could be well on our. I mean, there's only a few obstacles in like price action here to stop it from coming up and breaking that. But we're kind of in like a little triangle. So depending on which way we break out, depends on like what kind of position I'll be looking to take. Because we're either gonna continue this downtrend, or we're gonna come up and then continue this downtrend. I don't really see any other way to go. Unless obviously, as I said, that if we do that, then we're gonna continue this. Yeah. Or if we don't, I mean, I don't really see this uptrend continuing. We'll see though. Who knows? You guys can unmute your mics now. I'm gonna stop recording. I don't really have much else to show.